Polynomial can be written in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Can also be written in the form of ax plus b. Can also be written in the form of ax raised to the power of 3 or ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. So these are just some examples of different polynomials that we can have. This one can be called a quadratic polynomial. This is a linear polynomial, and this is a cubic polynomial. The power is 4. It will be called a quartic polynomial. Now, we can add two or more polynomials together. We can multiply polynomials together. We can subtract polynomials, and we can divide polynomials. So, but the fact is, multiplying, addition, and subtraction are quite very easy to do. But in fact, multiplying is just like simple expansion. So, but dividing polynomials is where the work comes, division. And this is what confuses most students when they are given exercises that involves them to divide polynomials. So I'm just going to be showing us two methods. I'll start by using the long division, and I will use the synthetic division method. So let us say we have an example that says we should divide 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. We should divide this by x plus 3. So using our long division method, we'll just write it out. Long division method. We have something like this. The process is actually very simple, but it's a bit long. That's why we call it long division. So we rule our line just the way we usually rule it when we want to divide fractions or numbers by this method of long division. We put the first polynomial inside, and we put the second one outside, which is x plus 3. We'll just write it exactly the way we see it. So we're going to take, the first step is to take the first term. I would just say the one outside, let me just write it, it's called the divisor. It's called the divisor, while the one inside is called the dividend. It's called the dividend. Good. So it's important to know their names, just in case of we have questions like that, or so that you understand and be able to follow up when I'm explaining. So the first term in the divisor is x. We use to divide the first term in the dividend. That is saying 2x squared divided by x, and 2x squared divided by x will give us 2x. We write 2x on top, and that's 2x. We are going to use it to multiply both our x and 3, which is our divisor. So I'll just put my times symbol here. We use 2x to multiply the divisor, and that will give us 2x squared plus 6x. So 2x times x will give us 2x squared, and 2x times 3 will give us 6x. Exactly. We're going to subtract. This from this, and we have 2x squared minus 2x. That gives us 0. So we can just cancel that, or you write 0 here, anyone. And we have 3x minus 6x. 3x minus 6x will give us minus, sorry about that, will give us minus 3x minus 3x, and we have minus 5 minus 0, and that will still give us minus 5. So we are just subtracting and adding polynomials here. This one is just the same way we subtract and add algebraic expressions. So we add and subtract like terms. For instance, 3x and 6x are like terms because they have x, and we cannot add x squared to x. So just as a recap. Then we'll go again, the same thing we did. Remember, we have minus 3x minus 5 here. We'll go one more step, and we use the first term of the divisor to divide the first term of the dividend. In this case, this is now our dividend, minus 3x minus 5. So x goes in minus 3x to give us minus 3, and we use this minus 3 again to multiply the divisor. So minus 3 times x will give me minus 3x, and minus 3 times plus 3 will give me minus 9. So we subtract whatever we get here again. We subtract this from this. So minus 3 minus 3 will give us, of course, when minus multiplies minus, you have plus. And minus 3 plus 3 will give us 0. So this is gone. Just put this, cross it, slash it. So here we have minus 5 minus minus 9. So it's the same thing as minus 5 plus 9, because minus times minus is equal to plus. And minus 5 plus 9 will give us plus 4. So this is where we stop. So our quotient, this is called the quotient. This is called the quotient, and this is called the remainder. Quotient and remainder. So most times we write the quotient, we just write our answers out. The quotient, we write it like this: q of x, the q representing quotient, and the x here means that it's the function of x, 2x minus 3, and our remainder, we just write r. Write r, you can write r of x if you want, but I will just leave it as r. R is equal to 4, just like that. So the second method I'm going to use is called synthetic division. I'll just change it back to, let's say, white or red again. Synthetic division, and synthetic division is the fastest way to divide polynomials, although it has its limitations. So the method of synthetic division, remember, let me look at the question again. We have 2x squared plus 3x minus 5, and divided by 2x squared plus 3x minus 5 divided by x plus 3, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, okay, we are good to go. So we're going to rule a line similar to the other line, but not exact, like upside down kind of. Then we'll write this is, remember, this is a dividend. We'll write this, the coefficients of our dividends, we write them up. So the coefficients are 2 and 3 and minus 5. We write them out like this. Now, in our divisor is given in the form of x plus a, or x minus a, something like that. So you can see this is x plus 3. It looks very similar to x plus a. So we are going to find, this is an expression, we are going to find the roots. We are going to find x is equal to a. We find x is equal to a, and in this case, if we to find x is equal to a, it means you have to equate this to 0. So that's what I'm going to do here. We're going to equate our x plus 3 to 0, and if we do that, we have x is equal to minus 3. So this minus 3, which is more like our a, is what we are going to put outside. We'll put that minus 3 outside, and we are going to use this minus 3 here. So just follow me. This is the fastest method. We pick the first coefficient here, 2x. We drop it at 2, rather we'll just drop it down. Once we drop it down, we're going to use the minus 3 outside to multiply these two. Just put my time symbol. So that's 3 times minus 3 times 2 will give me minus 6. This is minus 6. We'll add 3 to minus 6, and that will give us minus 3. And we'll do the same thing again. We use what is outside, which is minus 3, to multiply that minus 3 here. Minus 3 times minus 3 gives us plus 9, and we put that 9 under our 5, and we add it again. So we keep doing an addition here, apart from in this case where the first case, we just drop down whatever coefficient we have. Minus 5 plus 9 will give us 4, and these values here are our answer. So but the only thing is that if the first uh, coefficient was having x squared, as you can see, the first number here is going to be having x. It's going to be having x. The second coefficient was having x. The second number here will not be having anything. So you can just, meaning that you can just reason it like this, that when 2x squared is divided by x, you know of course that 1x will cancel 1x and you're left with 2x. So that's why you're having x here. So the values under will be having a degree, variables of a degree 1 less than the original dividend So we have 2x, which is our quotient, will be 2x minus 3, and we have a remainder of 4. So the last number here is the remainder in this case, the remainder of 4 and 2x minus 3.